picture you and your family sleeping when you're by the sound of a thud. Then you hear it again. Thud! And then a crushing sound and footsteps coming down the hall to your bedroom door. The door swings open and a person walks in. All you see is something dripping from his hand as the glint of steel rises in the air. Oh my God, it's an axe. In the quiet, peaceful night of 1912, the unsuspecting town of Villisca, Iowa, lay in solemn darkness. Josiah B. Moore, a local businessman, had secured a quaint 3-bedroom home for his family, his wife, and 4 children. All was serene until that fateful evening. On the 9th of June, 1912, the Moore family strolled to their beloved Presbyterian church. The congregation had gathered to witness a visiting preacher, George Kelly, who promised to deliver an inspiring sermon. As the church service concluded, the community shared in a post-service social for the children. The clock neared 9:30 p.m., and the Moore family decided it was time to return home, just 3 blocks away. Young Mary Moore had extended an invitation to her friends, the Stillinger sisters, Ina May and Lena, to spend the night, an offer they eagerly accepted. As the night fell over Villisca, the family and their guests readied for bed. Unknown to them, an eerie presence had entered the safety of their home. Silently and methodically, this dark intruder began to unleash a nightmarish terror. It was beneath the cover of darkness that the horror unfolded, one cruel act at a time. Each family member, blissfully sleeping, became a victim. The fiend wielded a cruel axe, its blade slicing through the night. Only one, Lena Gertrude, awoke amidst the carnage. With terror in her eyes, she raised her arms in a futile attempt to ward off the impending doom before succumbing to the same fate. The list of victims is as follows: Josiah Moore, aged 43, Sarah Montgomery, aged 39, Herman Montgomery, aged 11, Mary Catherine, aged 10, Arthur Boyd, aged 7, Paul Vernon, aged 5, Ina May Stillinger, aged 8, and her sister Lena Stillinger, aged 12. In the morning, a concerned neighbor named Mary Peckham sensed that something was amiss. The family had not appeared to tend to their daily chores, and the deafening silence that gripped the Moore residence raised grave concerns. Peckham walked to the house, her fear growing with each step. Outside, the chickens remained locked in their coop, and the horses stood in their corral, untouched. When Peckham found the front door locked and received no response, she urgently contacted Josiah's brother, Ross Moore. Ross hurried to the scene, and after getting no answer, he unlocked the door with his spare key. What they discovered within would haunt them forever. Ina and Lena's lifeless bodies lay in the guest bedroom. The authorities were summoned without delay. The police arrived at a scene of unspeakable horror. Every victim had met their demise at the hands of the same bloodied axe, a weapon that had belonged to Josiah and had been kept in the guest bedroom. Doctors determined that the gruesome murders occurred between midnight and 5 a.m., a nightmarish slaughter hidden in the darkness of night. The savagery began in the master bedroom where Josiah and Sarah Moore lay. Josiah suffered the most brutal blows, his face left in a grotesque state, eyes gouged out. The ceiling bore a chilling mark, evidence of the axe's descent. The killer then used the blade on Sarah, while the rest endured the blunt end's merciless wrath. Herman, Mary Catherine, Arthur, and Paul met their tragic end in the same cruel fashion as their parents. Descending the stairs, the malefactor reached the guest bedroom where Ina and Lena Stillinger met their unfortunate fate. Only Lena awoke to the nightmare as it unfolded around her. But what happened next took this horrific black night to a sadistic depth. The murderer, his rage seemingly insatiable, revisited each lifeless body. With the blunted side of the axe, he obliterated their skulls, beyond recognition, a grotesque and ritualistic conclusion to his night of terror. The killer or killers draped each head with clothing and blankets, obscuring the grotesque aftermath. Mirrors, it seemed, held some dark reflection of their deeds. They were shrouded with clothing, perhaps in an attempt to shield the perpetrators from their own evil. In a bizarre twist, the murder weapon was left in the guest bedroom alongside a large slab of bacon, but nothing appeared stolen from the home. The kitchen bore signs of a grim meal, evidence of blood-washed hands in a wash basin. Finally, the murderer meticulously closed all windows with curtains and secured the front door before vanishing into the darkness. The arrival of the police brought not only investigators, but also a swarm of reporters, neighbors, and morbid curiosity seekers, contaminating the crime scene with their presence. As the investigation unfolded, numerous suspects emerged, including a U.S. Senator and former business partner, and the visiting preacher, George Kelly, who had delivered that church sermon. Even the presence of a transient serial killer was considered a phantom traveling the railways, but that theory was ultimately dismissed. In the end, 7 individuals were seriously considered as suspects, some even charged and put on trial, but all were eventually exonerated. These murders are now considered cold cases, set to remain unsolved for the unforeseeable future.
This is Jackie Gabbs. Thank you for watching Haunting Murders. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And remember to stay curious and keep listening.